Okay, my action would be to introduce blind voting. Probably some of you don't know what it means, so I'm going to read you a definition and after that explain why I would like to propose that. So blind voting means voters indicate a series of preferences for policies rather than directly selecting a party, which means that they are choosing actions they want to be seen and not the side that they think they belong to. These preferences are then matched to the policies of political parties, and the voter is taken to have voted for the party that most closely matches their preferences. Basically, what are we going to do with using such an action is that we're going to fix all those challenges that we had yesterday. For example, fixed mindset. Because you can't use your fixed mindset if your mindset is fixed on, for example, choosing the right or the left party, if you're not choosing the party anymore, but instead of that, you're choosing a policy that you want to be made. That way people could also understand decision making and the policies that are made, because they will be forced to think about actions that they want to be done. For example, is it going to be free education or paid education but with a bigger quality, and so on and so on. Basically, I think that would help in solving many of these issues, and it's connected to digital era only because we're finally come to that stage that we no longer have to combine everything under one name. We can really let people take a step further to a real democracy.
So one thing is the proclamation, the program of the party, but there is a contradiction between this proclamation, this program, and so-called realpolitik. The thing that the parties do after the elections. So maybe with this blind voting, you might choose a party that would fit your ideas, but the party itself would not fulfill these ideas and can behave differently. And you might know this from the context of the political situation in your country. How would you react to this?
I actually know your concerns, but it's better than the system we're having now, because right now people are, I'm talking about my country mostly, people are mostly living in the past. They're not choosing a side because they like their policies, they are not even aware of the policies. If a side is not fulfilling their promises, then it's a completely another problem. But the thing is that this way people can participate in real decision making, and they can actually express their opinion on many different topics, and not only as they are doing it now are to choose the side that they think that would be the best for them if we lived like 10 or 20 years ago.
Okay, but don't you think this would work only in area where there is a fight between ideas and not fight between political personalities? Like politicians, not the ideas?
Well, I think that policy is actually made to eliminate the fight between personalities and make it a fight between ideas. Because we're not here to teach people what to think, we're here to teach them how to think. And once people are able to make their own decisions, it doesn't matter which party is ruling anymore. What matters is that they're real democracy, that they're working on the principles that the most people choose. We have here.
Okay, introducing blind voting. So, do you think is it positive?
Yes.
How?
Because it would eliminate this really fixed way of using democracy in many countries. I don't know how it's in your countries, but I know that...
no, in general sense. In
general sense, yes.
Oh, explain very well, I understand.
I'm sorry if I'm rude, but
just
you're listening to...
Give me an example, just an example.
Okay, so the example in Croatia, we have like left-wing party, SDP, and right-wing party, HDZ. They are not even showing us their programs. Why? Because we have a majority of older people who are going to vote for HDZ because they believe that HDZ was the one that brought Croatia to their sovereignty. So that the HDZ was the one that brought us out of Yugoslavia, which actually isn't true, but many people believe that. So what is happening is that since young people are not going out to vote, and old people are voting only for the side, they're voting for blue color instead of red because red is communism and is bad. That way, we're not actually even reading the programs of those parties, because everybody who goes voting, they're only voting as an expression of their style.
What you explain is called blind vote.
Well, blind voting would be
that
yes, blind voting. That is blind voting, but actually, the name, this name is for, well, it's also for people who are really blind and have to help them vote, but it's not the problem that we're dealing with right now. Blind voting in this sense is voting without knowing the party that you're voting for, but actually voting for ideas they're representing.
To like your ID and to link it to a digital era reminds me of something I wanted to propose, which is called Voting Advice Applications, VAA. It's becoming really big, mainly in the US, and there were some studies that it's actually influencing the choice of voters. It's applications where you say, for instance, gay marriage, I'm for or against, European Union, deepening of the European Union, I'm for or against, and then when you answer maybe 20, 30 questions, creates a profile and it tells you the party you were the closest to, and also secondary choices in case of if this party is not represented in the election. And you can also weigh your choices. For instance, if you say, okay, I'm pro-gay marriage, but I don't really care about gender stuff. I'm really into environment. So they will make weighting of your answers and match to the question that matters the most also to the political parties actually existing. It's a lot of work to develop that, because you have to do this for kind of every election, every country, every party, and to keep updated the platform, the political platform, I mean, so the political proposals of all the parties. But I think it's a good way for people who don't know how to vote, or who had a preconceived idea of the party they wanted to support, and then they do this voting advice application, and they have maybe either a better idea or another idea of the party they should choose.
I agree with everything you said, and that is exactly the system that would be the best to implementing these kind of policies.
So I know people trying to do that at the European level, of course, EU and
do you think that you said that it is very complicated because you have to do it for every party, for every elections, and so on and so on? Do you think that it is worth it?
Yeah, because I think in the last elections in the United States, the legislative election, the general elections for Congress, this was used quite a lot. Also for the European elections, because sometimes you don't really understand what Europe is about and what is of European competency and what is not, and what the liberal Democrats think and what the conservatives think and what the communists think about issues that are maybe quite far, and this helps you bring, because basically sometimes you vote and you don't really give an importance to the topic. Maybe if you vote for the regional elections and they take care of transportation and you have your car, or you just walk all the time, or you ride a bicycle, you don't need to have public transportation. So you're not really interested, but still you may have an opinion saying, oh, maybe it should be less expensive, maybe it should be more dense, we should have more. So it's also to answer to the people who would not care really about the issues, but have a slightly, they have some opinion, but they don't really care. And so instead of not voting or voting for randomly, they could vote for the party that is the closest to their own ideas.
I wouldn't even say that it's part of people, I would say it's unfortunately a majority.